Hello, welcome everyone back to the channel, and today we will review freediving lanyard from Octopus Freediving. So if you don't know what freediving lanyard is for, it is a vital piece of equipment which you will need if you are training on buoy with a line setup with bottom weight, especially if you're diving a little bit deeper and especially if you're diving in beyond point of visibility. So it is very easy and very simple piece of equipment, and this piece of equipment is basically just attaches with carabiner to the dive line, and the other side attaches generally to your wrist. As I said, it is a very simple piece of equipment, but in our case, the attention is in detail. We know that Octopus Freediving company has been in a business of creating freediving products for freedivers, which are high quality and in affordable prices. So started a few years ago as a startup, and one of the first products they started with was actually this freediving lanyard. Now I remember using the very first version, and now I believe it's about third version, and we are using this lanyard here on day-to-day basis, so we get to test a lot out of it. Now we also use different brands of freediving lanyards, but we use also Octopus. Now I have to say that this review is not sponsored by Octopus, so this is totally our non-biased opinion, and we will always try to be with you as truthful and as honest as we can. So the opinions in this review will be solely based on the experience with the equipment that we had for years, and so I hope you will find it valuable. Okay, obviously one of the main pieces of a freediving lanyard will be the carabiner, and this is actually where I find that Octopus is doing a really good job of actually inventing their own kind of a carabiner. So the carabiner is not made of plastic, it's made of carbon composite polymer, and so it is very strong and very light at the same time. Now the simplicity, I really enjoy the simplicity of the carabiner. We don't have any springs or anything like that to work the mechanism of closure. This is working on pretty much just one stainless steel metal string, and it opens very easily. It keeps it closed very easily as well, so it's pretty secure. And the way the carabiner is designed also, which is very clever, is that there is basically attachment that goes right through the carabiner straight and attached to the cable itself. Now I know that in previous models of this lanyard, there was a little weak point that was just underneath this cover, and actually the cover was causing the weak point where the lanyard cable was attached and riveted, and because it was exposed and it was kind of like the point where there was a lot of movement, this is where the cable will actually start snapping and breaking. So it would be a good invisible point, so you could see it before you basically break the lanyard in half, but the reason for it was actually this housing here that was changed. So now this is a new housing which basically will limit the mobility of the cable and basically prevent of that happening, which is a bonus points to Octopus Freediving for sorting this out. Okay, so the next point of the lanyard, which is also very, very important, is the cable. Now the cable needs to be marine stainless steel, so it's not regular stainless steel because that will still in the seawater rust very much and break down quite easily, but marine stainless steel is a little bit more durable. Now you can see that this cable is basically inside a black housing, so there is some kind of plastic or rubbery, not sure exactly which material is this, covering the cable all around. And so basically, this is good because it prevents accidental cuts. And I had experience myself where we had basically a lanyard with exposed cable, which is very good for longevity because it dries and you can wash it and so on. But if you accidentally, for example, get entangled your foot or your arm in it, it will cut you bad. So I would always prefer to have cable which has a housing. However, in this case, I would prefer the housing to be see-through. The reason why is because I would still like to see the cable inside to be able to inspect it when I need to. And another thing that is on some of other lanyards is that the cable and the housing are almost molded together, so there's no water inside the housing, which is I think very important. I'm not sure if this is the case with also the Octopus lanyard, but I hope it is. It used to be back in a couple of years back that I have found rusty parts of this cable inside the housing, and yeah, actually it was degrading. So if you're not careful enough, it is very easy to make a mistake and use this lanyard and maybe risk breaking during the dive. Okay, another part is where the cable ends and it becomes connected with the actual wrist strap or wristband. This area here, generally there is in some other lanyards, there is some kind of a quick release pulley or there is some kind of a twisty mechanism that allows it to rotate. It doesn't matter too much that this is not rotating because we have the rivet that is rotating with the carabiner, and that's enough generally. Now, one problem I have with this connection is this ring right here. I don't know if you can see it. So I'll turn it around. And this ring right here, it did happen on 2 occasions that this ring came loose and it came undone. And it basically, what happens is that very simply, somehow, it just goes over this thing here when it's brand new, like so. And it's only half turn where it can come out. And then basically, because the rivet here is not with a thread, it just falls out. So it happens 2 times already with 2 separate occasions where this has happened just before the dive, and you literally just about to dive and your lanyard just falls apart. So I would personally try to secure this pin with maybe both thread and a pin like this, or different pin that maybe goes a couple of coils, so it is harder to do it, or simply just make a full 1-piece ring which you cannot open, and you just have to cut it to exchange the wristband. So some of these options, because this one is it looks safe, but it is not. It is not that safe. Now, in any case, you should always check your lanyard before your dive, and I would urge to make sure that you check this part, because yeah, it's just something you would not think about, this little pin. Okay, so next is the wristband, and I have to say that Octopus have done a really good job with the wristband this time. They had some issues in version 1 and version 2 when this version came out early. There was a problem with Velcro. Velcro was really not lasting much time, but this one in particular lasts a long time. And I know they've done a really good customer care service where they basically sent new Velcros to people who had that problem. So that's a positive side on the Octopus Freediving. But other than that, the design, there's a quick release. The pulling thing here. There is a logo and it's well done, and also the wristband is very good quality, D-ring is good quality. Now sometimes when you see people making their own D-rings and their own lanyards, they do make a lot of mistakes, especially buying materials where the D-ring is a cut in the middle. So you always want a D-ring that is full and whole. And yeah, this is a simple thing. It looks like a simple thing, but once you use it in the marine, in the sea all the time, every day, you will start finding things that that don't work so well. Okay, so if you are in the market for a new lanyard, I think the Octopus Freediving lanyard is a good choice. It definitely offers good security, good quality components. They last for a long time as well. There's a couple of things that you need to always check before your dive session to make sure that there is no rust on the cable inside the cable housing, and also the little pin. You can also just close it yourself or change it yourself to something a little bit more durable, I'd say. Not durable, but maybe a little bit more safer, to avoid occasional problem of accidentally opening like this. And I would say, what could Octopus Freediving do in their next version of lanyard would be maybe include see-through cable housing, so you can see your cable and the state it is in, and also change that little pin that just sometimes it really is less than 1% chance of this pin coming out, but that chance is still there. I would just put something solid there or something a little bit more secure. So I do recommend getting Octopus Freediving lanyard. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like the video. If you use Octopus Freediving lanyard, let us know in the comments. If you are using a freediving lanyard, maybe different brand, or you're using Octopus Freediving lanyard, let us know how you're happy with it or which brands of lanyard you're using. And I hope to see you at the next video. Like and subscribe if you'd like to see more, and see you next time.